crazy. I'll mess around with him, but then I'll fly off the handle, But we got those schizophrenic coaches, emotions sometimes. So, but no, it's going to be an emotional game. I'm going to have a lot of young guys on the field, but I think what we do and the situations we put them in out here on a day-to-day will prepare them for Thursday night on the 28th.
How do you define success for year two for you and just where this program's heading?
It's Millard, so success is winning here, and that's the standard. That's been explained to all three coaches. So our standard is high here. We're part of a great school district academically as well as athletically, but our standard is high here. We have the finish state champions here, right? So we expect to compete at a high level and all across the board, every school in Millard. You expect to be in that final play. And that's the expectation, That's just what we're looking forward to and keeping that tradition of, trying to make sure the state goes through Millard.
The last one here, I guess, for you is, I know you and I have talked about this in the past, but Coach Petito's imprint on Millard North is huge. And on you, right? Gave you a shot, like as a young guy. Have you leaned on him? Have you called him? Like last year, were there times where like, man, I need some advice?
Man, the thing about, I'll call him the capo, the main man is he called every Thursday out here before the game, and I look forward to it because he's been so important in my journey and who I am as a coach. Just being around him, for 8 years and to see how he works diligently, how he structures things. No whistle, never heard him use profanity, So you do kind of gravitate towards your roots, and him and Chavez was a big part of how I came into this game. So I always will have respect for Petito. He set Millard North. Yeah. So he built it. This is his show. Like, it is. So I'm fortunate enough to be able to not only coach with a legend but follow a legend. And the expectations is high, We want 5 titles. People don't know how hard that is, just to win one, right? So, but I do lean on him a little bit, and he's always gives great advice. Always tells me, be you, because you got to do it your way. So he did it his way for 42 years.
All right, that's Coach Allen Burrow.
Just get your hands on it. Great job. Hey, Eric, you got it. All right, talk to him. Talk to each other. Both sides, we gotta be better. Come on, that last trip. Get your butt out here. We gotta get to the damn ball. Relax. Now just get a stance. Yeah, just get in here. Right, just watch it with me. Here, stand. Your hands gotta be ready to go. I think we're gonna play like this, right? Backside, watch that. Okay, come on. You gotta know that. That was the worst catch we've ever had. I was waiting for some weight on the ball. Now I gotta go against them. Hey! Reset! Shuffle. I like that, don't we all?
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. 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 VIP coming live from the VIP. Heard the nightlife, house life, where that mean. No feds in the spray, wanna see my knee. The whole city got preserved, he got 3. That other rapper got a hip or something, he mad. He said the shit down 5 soon as he got 3. The king back now. Crowds don't even know how to act now. Hit the club, strippers getting naked, boys sat down. Still ballin', money stacked out in the shack now. Still push a button to let the roof on the leg down. I'm on the road doing shows, put my back down. Mississippi to Philly, Albuquerque to chat time. I got the crowd yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. I'm a hot girl yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. I'm a dope boy yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. storm it quick. If we catch another case, I know a trigger can miss. So I'ma keep a cool head, stay out of the news headlines, and show these other rappers it's bedtime. It's clear to see that I'm ahead of the time. I have to thrown down hard, top of rail with a shine. I got some time, they ain't nothing like a better with time. Who got a flow on a live show better than mine? I got a packed house yelling, bring 'em out, hey. I'm a hot girl yelling, bring 'em out, hey. I'm a dope boy yelling, bring 'em out, hey. The black day yelling, bring 'em out, hey. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. You wanna beat with the team, what is you gon' do? When you show up on the scene, 1 or 2 guns drew on you and your friends.
impact you've had made on Millard North High School. Please welcome to the field the 2025 Millard North High School Mustang Marching Band. The Mustang Band consists of all members of 9th through 12th grade. Mass Band, which is 250 members strong and compromises 10% of the student population. The band begins with a powerful Spanish-flavored marching band classic, Millard.
happen. That's why.
Please direct your attention to the track for a performance by the Millard Mustang Twirlers. The Twirlers perform at community and school events and are excited to kick off the season with their performance to Get Ready for This! The officials for tonight's contest, the referee Kent Home, umpire Josh Smith, linesman Bob Kurtz, line judge Dave Carter, and lead it. And that's
Welcome back, Mustangs. You may remember our voice from last year. It's Anshul and Pavin. Actually, you probably don't, but we're excited to join you for the first game of the year. If last year's any indication, this game is about to be absolutely fire. What do you have to say, Pavin?
Well, I'm very excited for Millard North football this year. So quick recap of last year. Millard North finished 6-5 overall, 3-1 in the district, and 5-1 on the road. And that was the first season with Coach Burrell, who big emphasis on speed, condition, and explosiveness.
Yeah, last year was a great year considering a new scheme completely. I mean, Coach Petito had been here for so long. The first play of the game is a reverse sweep. And that goes for a solid 13, 14 yards.
Starting off with a bang here.
Not only was that run explosive, but so was the new starting quarterback for the Mustangs, the Papio LaVista transfer, Cameron Leggett. I mean, we haven't seen any throwing out of him yet. Only one play in. But the team looks electric.
It looks electric. Very similar.
Last year we saw a big improvement in the offense. It was a lot more shotgun, a lot more modern. Handoff right up the middle, and that goes for 10 yards. The Mustangs are moving the chains.
Well carried by Messiah Woodlawn.
It's a big game starting off.
I mean, you can feel the intensity in the students there. Last year, they tore down the fences. 29-20-21. Same opener last year, and it was an absolute banger.
Yeah, and I don't think the student section's as big as you're saying, Anshul. It looks a little empty.
See, it's all about quality, not quantity.
That's right.
We're hoping for a banger game and hopefully more fences torn down.
I don't know about that one.
Seems to be a little confusion on the field. There seems to be a flag. While from the commentators' box, we didn't see one thrown. Did you? Short and sweet, I like it. So that wipe out that 10 yards. And we seem to be redoing first down with 15 yards to go off of a phantom flag. But if we know anything about these Mustangs, they'll get it back in one play. Their first two plays, barring the penalty, went for a combined 25 yards. Absolutely explosive offense. We see a two backfield and then some motion into an I formation. They're stacking the right. Ball snap. Right up the middle again. A beautiful juke to get 7 yards. Making plays happen.
Yeah, just like last year. Big
Brought down the play by number 4, John Stinson.
I mean, yeah, that's Millard North football. Running right up the gut. Coach Petito introduced this for 20-plus years. And Coach Burrell has kept it going with slightly different offensive packages. Under Coach Burrell, we see a lot more shotgun. We see a lot more movement around the O-line and the receivers. Speaking of shotgun on this next play, 2nd and 9. Nice little screen pass. Good move. Doesn't seem to get much there. At least saved a negative play.
Brought down the play by number 4, John Stinson.
We're at 3rd and 9, and a flag has been thrown pre-snap. False start. Second flag on the Mustangs on just their first drive.
It's a little funny start.
Really odd. That first flag was unseen by most of the crowd.
Yeah, especially us.
And we have the best view, trust me. Number 7, Cameron Leggett, gets special instruction from Coach Burrell.
Third down, 14 ball, and 32-yard line.
And he is a tank of a quarterback. 6'4", 197 pounds. That's a Josh Allen-esque build.
Definitely.
Hopefully he plays like the MVP. Takes a snap, empty backfield, steps up in the pocket on the run, and a beautiful pass. This offense looks electric. 3rd and 14, and they get nearly 13 back.
Down on the play by number 24.
Still not a first,
Greg Orso.
but we'll see what the Mustangs do here. And they seem to be going for it. Certainly a new look Mustangs. I mean, it makes sense. They're near the 50-yard line. Offense is moving. You saw a beautiful pocket presence by Cameron Leggett there. Why not? And they're going with 3 backs in the backfield. A heavy formation. And right up the gut. And he got it. Certainly close if he didn't. And they will mark it a first down. The Mustangs are moving the chains. Mustangs in shotgun. And they will run it right up the middle. And a huge play. A big hole down the middle. And that's a 13-yard run by Isaiah Traylor. The senior, 5'9", 190 pound back. 5'9" and 190. He is a strong, strong back.
That's a big boy right there.
But even with his size, he showed some incredible burst there. He found a lane, and he took a massive cut. This offense looks entirely new from the past couple years that we've seen. The offense was great last year under Coach Burrell, and in a whole year with him, they've definitely seemed to become a lot more explosive. Going back into the I formation seems to be one of the Mustangs' favorite. I and shotgun. Halfback toss to the right. Couple of good blocks. He tries to find the edge and is able to only at 2 yards, but another flag.
Ball carried by Isaiah Traylor. Penalty flag on the
Why
field.
we started this game with just runs? I'm trying to see some throws.
I mean, I would agree with you because that throw that he did, moving up in the pocket like that, finding the open spot,
Yeah.
and drawing the defender away with his eyes, if you guys saw. He looked like he was about to run, and then just a beautiful touch pass to the back. I would like to see some throws out of Cameron Leggett as well, but do you blame the Mustangs? Their runs have been explosive. 13, 14 yards, and another penalty on the Mustangs getting moved back 10 yards. Seems to be a holding call, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know, as much as we say the Mustangs have been explosive, they've been kind of rusty, I feel like. The first game of the year, 3 flags already on their opening drive. But with the way they're moving the ball, I'm not concerned about if they'll get the first. It's just concerned about the rest of the game. Getting this many flags does tire out an offense, continuing to have the rerun the same play. Mustangs hand it off to the right, finds a good gap, and is able to get 8 or 9 of those yards back. Isaiah Traylor is actually having himself a very nice game. He's finding the right gaps, but can we give some love to the O-line here? They've been opening up some huge holes for Isaiah to run through. Absolutely massive for him. Who's a player you're really excited to see today, Pavin? Other than, obviously, our transfer QB, Cameron Leggett.
A big player I'm looking out to see today is Drew Nelson.
Drew Nelson. Absolutely right. He's a superstar wide receiver. I have nothing else to say about him. Drops back, throws, and guess who? As we were talking about it, oh, it's a fumble. Picked up by the Wildcats. Pavin, we may have jinxed it, man. I mean, you know, it's unfortunate for the Mustangs that they have had a fumble, but we saw a really good route there out of Drew Nelson. I mean, Unfortunately, he got hit pretty hard. He couldn't hang on to the ball.
Yeah.
But that doesn't take away anything from his route running on that play. It was a beautiful curl route, and Cameron Leggett really looked confident in the pocket. So
Right.
it's nice to see that out of them. And Cam Leggett looks like to be in really good form in just the first game
Yeah.
of the year.
I mean, that's definitely a way to start the season.
I mean, it's been an interesting first couple minutes, I can tell you that. The Wildcats start with the ball at their own 11-yard line. They come out in shotgun formation with one back and stacked 2 receivers on each side. And they go with a QB draw. An interesting first choice, I must say. Stacking 2 receivers on each side, motioning out the running back, and then going with a QB draw. They seemed to see if the Mustangs were in zone or not by doing that motion to see if anyone on the defense would move. But I guess they saw what they liked. I think the Mustangs liked what they saw as well, getting only 0 yards on that play, allowing them nothing. From what we've seen, the Mustang offense looks great. Let's see if their defense can hold up. That first play was an incredible showing. They come out again, 2 motion tight ends, stacking the left side completely. A handoff to the strong side, a good hole, but really well corralled there by initially Christian Bowles, the senior DB, 6'1", 181, and uses every pound of that to corral him to the down. Christian Bowles is another player to look out for tonight. He's a really exceptional cornerback. He has really good technique, really good physicals. I believe he's going to be a problem for the Wildcats and a savior for the Mustangs. 3rd and 7, ball on the 14. Mustangs have had 2 plays run against them for only 3 yards. Seems to be a good showing on both sides of the ball. Wildcats have come out in 3 back-to-back shotguns. He drops back to throw, and it's a screen pass. Oh, and he nearly gets the tackle, but the Wildcats racing down the sideline. Unfortunately, unable to corral. He really broke his block there, but just wasn't able to get any farther. That was David Washington, the junior running back for the Wildcats, 5'9", 185. So very similar stats to our own Isaiah Traylor, 5 pounds lighter. Isaiah Traylor, 5 pounds lighter. No, the Mustangs had a lapse on that play. The Wildcats moved the ball efficiently, and their 4th straight shotgun formation. But they do have a fullback in the backfield. Interesting formation, motions out the tight end, fakes to him, and that looked like a triple option. He motioned it to the tight end, faked it, had the option to keep it himself, and rather gives it up to the running back up the gut. And that was number 34, KJ Fox.
On the other sideline, Millard comes in with the new head coach, McInerney. Tell me about him, Unsure.
Mustangs know him a little too well. He was a special teams coach for the Mustangs last year. Did an exceptional job and, got his well-deserved pay raise. He's doing an excellent job with the Wildcats right now as they're already at the 30, 40-yard line, excuse me. Doing a great job, and the Mustangs really like it. Wildcats back in their huddle. Mustangs defense looked really resilient on the first couple of plays. They've let up a little bit. 3rd and 4 on the 43-yard line. I think the Mustangs will have a goal of trying to keep them past the 50-yard line, not try to let them get past midfield. They do a fake, and it's a bubble screen to the wide receiver, and a huge tackle. An absolute massive tackle, but a flag on the field. We'll wait to see what that is, but that was a great tackle there by the Mustangs, keeping them below the 4 yards if the flag is not against them.
Overall, Millard North's defense has been looking really good tonight.
Yeah, they've had a couple big lapses, a missed tackle here and there, but it's the first day of the game.
Yeah.
It's the first time they've been on the field since last year. Got to cut them some slack, and that tackle showed that they're as resilient as any other team in the state.
Shaking off some of that rust.
Absolutely. And I think the Wildcats will have to take the ball back. It seems to be a holding call on the Wildcats. And the Mustang student section, I don't think realized that because they haven't done anything about it. Our band has, though. So a 3rd and 14 now on their own 33. If the Mustangs are able to corral them here, they can end up with some pretty good field position for their offense, which look to be as explosive as ever. Let's see. Wildcats come out in yet another shotgun. I don't think I've seen him under center this entire game. A motion out from the wide receiver, a fake, and another screen to the wide receiver, and another flag. You know, being the special teams coach, I think he really likes screens. That's the 3rd screen we've seen in the past like 4 plays. And really love shotgun as well, I guess. Coach McEnany electing to punt the ball.
No flag on the play. Brings up 4th down.
Only about 6 yards gained on that play. And we'll have to be 4 down at the 39-yard line. Too deep in their own territory for the Wildcats to attempt something crazy this game early in the game. They will punt the ball, and the Mustangs will be getting it back. Whistles blown. Seems to be some confusion on the field. Bobin, you know, seeing this Mustang student section, I feel like I should just quit broadcasting and go hype them up.
Yeah, we may have to go in there.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have Tyler, you guys will hear from later, go down and hype him up. He's out here doing homework, guys.
Yeah.
This guy is an absolute nerd. He's at the biggest football game of the year, a game that fences torn down last year, and he's doing homework. He's doing research for the second half. Absolutely. But we love Tyler around here. You guys will hear from him a little bit later. Mustangs back on offense at their own 22-yard line. Mustangs come out in shotgun formation. Seems to have taken a leaf out of the Wildcats playbook. Mustangs come out in Wildcat, 4 receivers, and they hand it right up the middle. And they get 10. Oh my God, he broke a tackle. He's going. He's going. He's going. He's gone. 20, 10, touchdown. Isaiah Trailer, who we've been talking about this entire game, takes it on their 2nd drive, first play for over 80 yards. An absolute fire start to the Mustangs' 2nd drive.
We should able to hit that hole perfectly and just turn on the Jets.
The Mustangs line blocked perfectly. That was a perfect scheme for them, too. Having 4 receivers out wide. I don't think the Wildcats expected to run up the middle. And they found the hole. And he looked like he was about to be out there, but he broke that tackle free and never looked back. Went all the way, and the Mustangs are definitely hyped. Isaiah Trailer, in his last year with the Mustangs, is showing out. And that got the student section at least a little bit more hype. They seem to have forgotten it pretty fast, though. Mustangs off to an early lead in this game. 2 minutes left in the first quarter, and they're already up 7-0. It seems that he has missed the extra point, actually. Apologies. They're up 6-0. But still a touchdown and a huge momentum shift away from the Wildcats.
Yeah. And the Mustangs strike first this game. That's what a way to start the season.
Absolutely. I mean, the Mustangs have all the momentum right now. Their first drive was an absolute explosive one. Their 2nd drive, touchdown. And on their first drive on defense, they held the Wildcats, to 4th down multiple times. And a couple of great penalties there helped them out. And now they're up first on the scoreboard. Mr. Hardy, do you have any sponsors like last year? Give me a shout out. Yeah. Which pizzeria? It's 156 in Maple.
It's right here.
While the Mustangs are about to kick off, we need to kick off some of our sponsors, such as
Chick-fil-A Legacy Village. What do you like to get at Chick-fil-A?
Buddy, I'm the most vanilla person you'll find. Spicy chicken sandwich and waffle fries. You?
I like the pretzel chicken sandwich now.
Ooh, a little unique there. Whoa! The Mustangs have kicked the ball off, and number 7 for the Wildcats, whose name is Broderick Gamberlick, a 5'10" wide receiver, takes the opening kickoff for a score. This game is all over the place, exactly what we expected. The Wildcats answer back, extremely quickly, and that momentum shift happened as fast as one could have expected. We didn't even get our sponsors out.
I feel like it may be a little bit of a stretch to say that was expected.
The game was expected to be this hype. Obviously, no one expected that amazing kickoff. But we didn't even get our sponsors through completely.
Yeah.
Let's see if the Wildcats kicker can make this point. He will go take his team up by 1. And considering that their coach used to be our special teams, I think he'll get it. And
It's good.
it's right down the middle. And he had plenty of leg on that one. Mustangs down by 1, but spirits are still high. Now for the second kickoff in the past 5 seconds, let's finish our sponsors, Bhavin.
Union Pizzeria, 156th and Maple.
Man, pizza's too good. I don't even you guys got to try out Union Pizzeria. They sponsor our team, and they're going to sponsor your stomach really well. They're actually amazing.
You know what's really slept on right there? The wings.
Wings. You been there? You like the wings?
Yeah, a couple times.
I haven't been there. Maybe we got to go after this game.
Sounds good.
But this game itself looking like a feast. Feast for the eyes. As I stated before, we're about to see our second kickoff in like the past 10 seconds. This time by the Wildcats. Let's see if the Mustangs can return the favor, get their own kickoff touchdown. Only about 4 minutes into this game, and two huge plays.
It's a banger.
But we expected that coming in. Getting fences torn down kind of sets your expectations high for the next year, I must say. If any of you watched the stream last year, you may be missing Luke and Sharish. We don't miss them because we took their jobs.
Yep, we're the better version.
Definitely. I mean, who even are they, honestly? Luke's out there doing something on his own. But we're out here commentating the football game. The kick is away, and it's taken in the end zone. 2 receivers tried to go for it at the same time, and a whistle is blown. I'm not sure what the rule book is on that. It seems like they will just count that as a touchback. Certainly the first of that I've ever seen. 2 receivers trying to get the ball at the same time.
Yeah.
But hey, that just shows the Mustangs are ball hungry and they're going to fight to the last breath. Tyler applauded me for that one. Didn't make any sense, but he still applauded me. That's why we love Tyler. Shout out to Mr. Harding if he's giving you a great visual experience, by the way.
Yeah, visual experience. I like that wording.
Thank you. It's actually 2 words, but Mustangs tried their own wide receiver bubble screen. That only ends up going for about 2 to 3 yards.
Doesn't work too well.
But sometimes they just do screens to open up the defense. And I wouldn't be shocked if you see a run right up the middle after this. That screen really stretches the defense out, sideline to sideline, and then we've seen this formation before. 1 running back in the backfield, shotgun, 2 receivers stacked on the right side, and it will be a run up the middle, I'm guessing. Place your bets, Pavin. And another whistle's been blown. Is it a pre-snap penalty? I couldn't tell from here. And it does seem to be just a stoppage of play. Mustangs lose 2 yards on that last play. I'm sorry, I said positive. I meant negative. Or maybe that would have been because of the penalty. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But what did I say? A run attempted up the middle, but this time they do not let him go for a touchdown again. Isaiah Trailers, he's pretty nasty, he's pretty dangerous, but the Wildcats managed to corral him here.
Yeah.
Mustangs facing a long 3rd and 10 at their own 18-yard line. Sorry, 3rd and 11 at their own 19. Got both of those wrong.
I'm pretty sure they're not going to run it on this one.
Yeah, I would assume they don't run it on their own 11-yard line. Or 19-yard line, I'm sorry. Shotgun formation. We've seen this formation a lot. Three receivers on the left side of Cam, and they do drop back. You were right, Pavin. A laser throw down the middle seemed to be a dig route. Wildcats corral him pretty well, but he still got a couple yards on that.
Yeah, but that was a good shutdown by the Wildcats.
That was a good shutdown, and it was a really good play by Cameron Leggett. He went through his progressions, didn't see anything open, felt the pressure, tried to get the ball out, got a completion in his books. 4th and 6 for the Mustangs. They do look like they will have to punt. Unfortunately, the Wildcats will get the ball back, but Mustangs are still only down by 1 with plenty of time left in this game as the quarter winds down. The quarter has ended. There seems to be a little confusion on the field. We hear a couple whistles being blown. Remains to be seen what is going to happen.
I was just a visit away. See you soon for a complimentary smile
It seems that the quarter has ended, and there was some confusion with the timeout being called, but quarter has switched to second quarter. 12 minutes back on the clock, and the Mustangs will kick off the second quarter by punting.
Team
We'll be right
Dog is
back.
locally owned Servpro with years of experience now serving the Omaha Metro and surrounding communities. Servpro specializes in fire, water, mold, and storm damages with full reconstruction services. Tom Servpro is a certified team available 24/7 with the expertise and resources you need to handle your concern damages. When things go wrong, remember, Servpro Omaha, helping you, your friends, and your family.
All right, second quarter is about to be underway. Shulin Pavin back with you guys. If you guys forgot us in the past 10 seconds. Mustangs will have to switch the side of the field as the quarter is switched, and they will kick off. Punter standing at his own 10-yard line. The receiver standing at the 45-yard line. Number 19 for the Wildcats. That is Colton Williams, a junior, 6'2", 170. Really lean, really fast, as we saw last time.
There's some interesting punts.
Certainly a formation. A bit of a high snap. A little short of a punt. The Mustangs will let it bounce as far as it can and touch it. The Mustangs should touch it. The ball is going a little bit more towards the Wildcats. They eventually do pat it down, and the Wildcats will start with the ball in positive territory. Certainly not what the Mustangs wanted, but I'm sure they will find a way. They certainly haven't been up to par. But again, first game of the year just started. Just a lot of anxiety, a lot of nerves, a lot of rust that needs to still come off. And honestly, the Mustangs hope, that the rust doesn't need to come off and that they never need to punt at all.
Hopefully.
Wildcats come out again in shotgun. They take out, he pump fakes to a receiver, doesn't see it open, and a beautiful pass to number 7 on the Wildcats, which is going to be Broderick Gemberlig, who we had seen earlier return that massive kick, gets a massive catch here, and the Wildcats have moved the chains to the 30-yard line.
That's a huge gain, and you can definitely see the speed and vision on that play. And a lot of the plays we've seen so far have been big plays by the Wildcats.
That was an extremely good play by the Wildcats quarterback. And, you know, there's just nothing else can be said about it. He went through one progression, didn't see it, went to his next one, and eventually got it. Can't hate him for that. They go with a reverse, just a normal sweep, and they will get a solid 4 to 5 yards, moving the chains along. I'm sure they're not complaining about 5 yards of play.
No, they're not.
A couple more of those and they're in the touchdown. So
Both teams have been trading punches so far, and it feels like whoever makes, the bigger mistakes may pull out in this game.
yeah. there's been a lot of punts, but there's also been a lot of big plays. So it is going to really come down to one mistake, like you said. And that one mistake could have been that early fumble. We'll see.
Right.
The Mustangs were really driving. It's a keeper by the quarterback, number 8 on the Wildcats. Their quarterback is Logan Crotch. I apologize if I have said that name wrong, but makes a good play there. Seemed to be a read option pass. He didn't like the other read, so he took off on his RPO and kept the ball himself. Cannot blame him for taking responsibility. Wildcats are facing a 3rd and 8 on their own 28-yard line. Or, I'm sorry, on the other side's 28-yard line. Hoping to at least get a field goal, if nothing else. But the Mustangs hoping to sack them out of field goal range. I don't think I have seen the Wildcats quarterback under center, and they did a reverse sweep on a 3rd and 8. And number 22 for the Mustangs, which will be Cameron Caldwell, absolutely blows that play up. A reverse sweep on a 3rd and 8 is certainly a decision.
And that's one of the loudest I've heard the Mustangs cheer squad out here today.
I see where you're going with that, Pavin. I mean, they're doing more than the crowd is doing for the Mustangs. Number 10 for the Wildcats, their kicker, Carter Chap, lefty, will kick a massive field goal, and he had the accuracy, just missed the leg by a couple yards, honestly. Not by much, honestly.
That keeps the game score 6-7.
I honestly applaud you for that joke. That was perfectly timed.
Thank you. It took everything out of me to say it.
I can assume so. That field goal was a solid about 45-yard field goal. So definitely not an easy one for a high school kicker, but just a little, maybe a yard or two short on that. Keeps the score 6-7. You're right. Mustangs coming out in shotgun formation. Cam drops back to throw. Faces pressure in the pocket, but steps up and has a beautiful pass completed. Absolutely beautiful by number 38 on the Mustangs, which is going to be Hunter Kodas, a junior, 5'9", 152, a really speedy wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the Mustangs have to love what they're seeing out of their transfer quarterback, Cameron Leggett, here. On every single play, he's been going through his progressions extremely well, facing pressure in the pocket, and still delivering a huge run up the middle that gets them the first down and plenty more by who else but Isaiah Traylor.
That guy is fast.
He's big, he's fast, he's shifty. He's everything you'd want. But yeah, as I was saying, Cameron Leggett has absolutely looked phenomenal. And I feel like under him, the Mustangs have had a slightly changed offense from last year. Under Zion Rush, they were extremely run-heavy with the quarterback, as Zion was definitely a run-first quarterback, which, his style worked for him, took the Mustangs to the playoff. But as we see again, Cameron Leggett steps back in the pocket, runs out, and don't mistake him, he has sneaky athleticism. A huge hit, but Cameron Leggett gets 13 yards. He is absolutely hype after that play. And as I was saying, Zion Rush is a run-first quarterback, but don't sleep on Cameron Leggett. He is sneaky athletic, as you saw there. Extremely quick, 13 yards. Mustangs run hurry up and run it up the side. And again, Isaiah Traylor just getting consistent yardage. I mean, a great decision by Coach Burrell there to go no huddle, not giving the Wildcats a chance to recover.
And this run game has been the most impressive thing I've seen here today.
It certainly has. I mean, what could be more impressive than a 78-yard touchdown?
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, Cameron Leggett, just we saw in that last play, again, goes through his reads, goes through his progressions, doesn't find anything open, sees the pocket collapsing, runs out to the side, eyes still up looking for a receiver, and when all options fail, gets a 13-yard run. Pretty good, I'd say, for the Mustangs to find themselves a quarterback. Looking a little Josh Allen-y with his build and his play.
Yeah, the only knock I can see on the game is that interception, but I don't think
I think you mean fumble, but yeah.
Fumble. Yeah.
I don't think Cameron Leggett has actually had an incomplete pass yet.
Yeah.
He's 100% completion. And the Mustangs moving the ball up off of a penalty. Targeting on that last play on Isaiah Trailer gives the Mustangs a huge boost. Hope he's okay, though. He's been subbed out of the game. And the Mustangs running up the gut with number 32, it seems. That is Tierre Porter, a freshman. That's right, a freshman, 5'8", 165, gets that run play and gets a solid attempt.
2nd and 10.
Number 34 coming into the game, that is Austin Reuter,
Ball on the Wildcats.
Jr. And let me tell you,
20-yard
he's
line.
fast. He is an absolute bolt of lightning. Isaiah Trailer is back into the game, so it seems like he's okay. He gets the handoff and makes the Wildcats pay for ever making him go out. It's a solid 7 yards on a play that we didn't even think was going anywhere.
Yeah, and they just had to drag him down.
Isaiah Trailer, I mean, he's been exceptional in this game. Well over 100 yards rushing already, thanks in large part to his 78-yard breakaway touchdown.
Right.
But he's been extremely consistent the entire game.
Yeah. And he's been just able to find those holes and take advantage.
Absolutely. He's averaging well over, I would assume, 15, 20 yards a carry. Again, due to his big play, but he's been extremely consistent the entire game. Gets 4 yards out of a play here. He's been finding the gaps really well. He's been really shifty. He's been really big.
Right.
Like to see that. Cameron Leggett drops back. Ooh, his first incompletion
Yeah.
was just a tad bit behind the intended receiver, number 87, Cameron Nelson. Unfortunately, it seems like the Mustangs might have to settle for, they're going for it on a 4th and 6 on the other's 20-yard line. A massive decision by Coach Burrell here.
And that's
He
some
could
of that,
take the lead.
that's some of that Mustang spirit we like to see, not settling.
Coach Burrell acting a little Dan Campbellish here for the Lions. Shotgun formation, drops back to throw, goes through his progression, sees a man open. Ooh, a little high for Isaiah Trailer there. It was a pretty good ball, but it just bounces off his hands. Coach Burrell's decision seemed like it would work out, but the play just isn't completed. And unfortunately, the Mustangs give up a potential 3 points, but I'm sure they'll be happy with how the play design worked out.
Right. There's a lot of promise there, and hopefully we see that work out later on in this game.
Absolutely. Again, first game of the season, drop passes are bound to happen. They're an unavoidable fact. But, I mean, honestly, I agree with Coach Burrell's decision. I'd rather have it happen when I'm down 1 in my offense rather than down the game where Isaiah Trailer hasn't had that much receiving work and it comes down really down to the wire and he's just not prepared for it. I'd rather have that happen here. There seems to be a timeout. Millard West takes a timeout to discuss how to go from here. Up by 1, 7 minutes left in the second quarter, and the Wildcats will take over their 20-yard line. We'll be right back after this timeout ends. Wildcats come back onto the field, shotgun, and it's a read option, and the quarterback will take it himself, it seems. And a solid 2 or 3 yards. Not what the Wildcats were hoping. They've tried this RPO several times now. Just hasn't seemed to work. The Mustangs are all over it. They've watched film. 7 minutes left in this half. Mustangs looking strong. Wildcats looking 1 point stronger.
Last year we saw this game 29-21, first game of the season. You think that we're getting numbers so high?
Honestly, the way the game started off, I thought we were going to exceed it.
Mm-hmm.
They've slowed down a little bit. Both defenses have really stepped up. Pressure for the Wildcats quarterback. He rolls all the way out to the right and somehow at least makes the pass. We've yet to see if it's complete. And there's a flag. It seems to be holding in the backfield considering how much time he had. But excellent work there by the quarterback, Logan Crotch. Rolls out of the pocket. Immense pressure from multiple Mustang D linemen. Rolls out and still completes pass. Unfortunately, the holding penalty will take it back. Mustangs get a good look out from that flag. They're facing a 2nd and 13 now rather than having the Millard West offense take over at a 3rd and 4. A good pass there by the Wildcats, number 19. That would be Colton Williams, a junior, 6'2", 170, big boy. And he gets the big boy yardage that they needed. Takes a 2nd 13 to 3rd and 2. Ball on 28. Mustangs hoping to make a stop. Wildcats hoping to get a couple of yards. Wildcats have not gotten under center this entire game. They go with the same read option, but this time it's a toss, and it gets the necessary yardage. I can't hate on it. They tried the same RPO multiple times, but this time it actually does end up getting them the required yardage. Ball at the 31-yard line, getting exactly a yard more than they needed. Wildcats break the huddle, come back again, and guess what? Shotgun formation. Drops back to pass. It's a screen pass. A couple of linemen missed their blocks, allowing the Mustangs to corral the running back extremely quickly.
Yeah, and the defense has some highlights this game.
Second down and 5. That was a nice little completion there. Run there. Wildcats coming back again in shotgun formation. One back. 2 receivers on each side. A nice slant route there and a perfect ball by, a really good ball there by Logan Crotch. Mustangs cannot stop that, unfortunately.
These throws by the Wildcats have been just really accurate and been able to get through the Mustangs defense.
3rd and 1. Last time was 32. The Wildcats got it pretty easily. They are bunched up in the backfield. It looks like to be a heavy formation. Mustangs blitzing. They are not able to get the running back. He breaks a tackle and gets ahead for 5 yards, plenty more than they needed. Mustangs here looking kind of under duress. Their defense that was so good at the beginning is kind of tapered off here. Hopefully they can regain some of their earlier energy because the Wildcats are milking that clock off. 3 minutes left. They're only at their own 46-yard line. Another 60 yards to go. the Mustangs offense may not see the ball again in this half. And don't forget, the Wildcats start with the ball in the second half. Yeah, the Wildcats are just running the ball straight up the middle. Good old-fashioned football. Milking the clock off. Great work there by Coach. McCain, sorry. Coach McCain had a great clock management there. Something that Eberflus couldn't do on the Bears on fire for Bobbin, I know Mustang football has started. Can you wait for next Thursday? The Super Bowl champions are playing again.
The Eagles, Jalen Hurts. Yeah, that was my QB for fantasy last year.
Yeah, he helped you a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
But you know who's better and who I have this year? Justin Fields.
Ooh. I don't think he'll be no Jalen Hurts, but we'll see how well he plays.
Some people say he's the second coming of Lamar Jackson.
I think those people are not in the right sense of mind, but I'm glad you're listening to them. The Eagles will play the Cowboys on Thursday. I understand we're not broadcasting for the NFL, but there's a break going on right now. The Cowboys just made a massive trade right before this game started, trading away their DPOY candidate and 4-time Pro Bowler Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers for 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark. I don't think any Dallas fan is happy with any of their teams right now. They lost Luka Doncic and Micah Parsons in the span of 6 months. Wildcats come back in shotgun formation. Motion out by the receiver, number 8 on the Wildcats, end up getting the ball and ends up getting 4 yards on that completion. A nice little swing route for the wide receiver there, number 8. Number 8, Logan Kreis throws the ball there. Logan Koch seemed to be playing in a different position there. 3rd and 7 for the Wildcats. This is looking like an optimal position for the Mustangs to be able to stop them and get the ball back to their offense. A little 2-minute drill action we could see potentially, but they have to stop them here. The Wildcats passing offense has looked strong at some points, has looked weak at other points. The quarterback's playing well, going through his progressions. The receivers are running their routes. But we'll see if it delivers here on 3rd and 7. Massive total to get. The Mustang defense looks good.
This game has been really good. Both teams trading punches so far.
I mean, if you just looked at the scoreboard, this game doesn't look as interesting as it actually is.
Right, but it started off electric.
Absolutely.
First with that fumble, and then them taking that all the way down, but then
Quick response there.
very quick.
By Wildcats.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see where this game takes us right now.
What's the most impressive thing you saw in this game so far?
Well, I mean, other than the obvious of
Isaiah
Traylor being in the second coming of Saquon Barkley. Isaiah Traylor has been really impressive in this game. I think the Wildcats defense, despite that huge run, has actually lived up pretty well against this electric Mustangs offense. But I think what people are missing, as I mentioned before, is Cam Leggett looks extremely composed and poised in the pocket. For his first year in a new system, being a senior, and his first game of the year, he's only missed 1 pass so far, and that was directly to the hands of Isaiah Traylor.
Right.
No shade at him, he's been absolutely incredible, but Cam Leggett has really poised. Wildcats drop back, rolls out of the pocket, huge throw, and it's a completion. He breaks the tackle. That was a massive play for the Wildcats there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly the opposite. That might be the worst case scenario for the Mustangs in that. They had a chance to stop him. They had a chance to get the ball back.
Right, and make some type of drive in the second quarter.
Exactly, have a 2-minute drill, except now the Wildcats get a solid 20 yards on that. They're at their own, they're at the Mustangs 25-yard line. They're milking the clock, and Mustangs may not see the ball again until the middle of the 3rd quarter, it seems. Wildcats have yet to go under center with their quarterback, Logan Crotch. He motions the running back and forth, fakes it to him, and it's a wide open seam that is dropped. the Mustangs were not all prepared for that. They are lucked out by an unfortunate drop there. He was wide open and potentially could have gone for a touchdown, honestly.
That's definitely a big play they whipped out.
Certainly a really big break for the Mustangs there, honestly.
Yeah. They definitely could have converted if he didn't drop it.
Definitely converted and very likely a touchdown. That was a really well ran seam route there. Wildcats come out in the same formation that they've been in all game. 2 receivers on each side, 1 running back in the backfield, no tight end, shotgun formation, slant routes, and it is batted down by the Mustang D-line. This is like what we like to see here. Incomplete pass, stops the clock, takes away a down, and takes away momentum. Absolutely correct.
Big time hit.
Absolutely.
Mustangs a little fired up after that one.
They are. Student section has not been the most active this game, but haven't sat down, so they've shown some commitment to the Mustangs. Maybe Tyler needs to go rile him up a little bit. He says no. Yeah, he's a little bit privileged, as we would say. Wildcats go around the side, get a solid 10 yards. Wildcats are just moving the ball down the Mustangs' throat. 3rd and 10, and they get all 10. 1 minute 48 seconds left. It seems that the Mustangs may have a chance with the ball back, but not more than maybe 20 or 30 seconds. So unless they have some huge play up their sleeves, Coach Burrell may need to evaluate. Apologies, that was actually a 4th and 1. They did not convert. It was really close to the line to gain, but close but no cigar.
What's one of your biggest memories from last year?
My biggest memory from last year was the homecoming game. Absolutely blacked out. I mean, the game was obviously great, no matter whatever the result may have been. But the Mustang crowd had really showed out in that game, which is something I believe that we've lacking in this game. But yeah, that's my favorite memory because obviously homecoming was that weekend. Homework load was light.
Yeah.
It's just a weekend to look forward to, and it started off great with that game.
My favorite memory, it actually was a loss, is that double overtime loss against Kearney.
That might be the worst memory from last year for me. I mean, we saw that happening live, and you know, it seemed that the Mustangs were about to win, and fortunately they fall extremely close. So while that wasn't a first down, the Wildcats are coming back on the field as I expected. Only about a couple of inches left to gain, honestly. A run up the middle. Mustangs might have to go on an all-out blitz to be able to contain this, leaving the wide receiver of the Wildcats manned up. Interesting to see what the Mustangs call here to stop an inch. The Wildcats do a read option with a quarterback. He gets plenty more than he needed to. The Wildcats are moving the ball down. 1 minute 40 left in the game. Sorry, the half. Apologies. Mustangs do not look like they'll be getting the ball back anytime soon. Wildcats do receive the second half kickoff. So if all goes according to their plan, they should have a touchdown here, putting them up 14-6. And some points in the second half. The Mustangs are slowly losing this game, and their offense hasn't even had a chance to recover it. Wildcats run the ball right up the Mustangs' defense and get a solid 7 yards. Sorry, excuse me, 6 yards, really close to 7. But they're milking the clock really efficiently. They're only 8 yards away from a touchdown. The Mustangs do not really have timeouts left to spare unless they want to stop the clock and get 30 seconds left, in which they won't be able to do anything with the clock. They're really in a tight situation here because if they let the clock run out, they won't get the ball, but if they use their timeouts, they'll get the ball back with 10 seconds. Not enough to do anything with it. Wildcats in ideal position in this game. They do a sweep, breaks a tackle, number 7. That is Broderick Gamberlig. We've said his name a lot this game. Breaks a tackle, gets near the first down. Does not stop the clock, excuse me. Perfect for the Wildcats, who still have 1 timeout left. So they're looking in optimal position to be able to get a touchdown here. They do end up taking their timeout, their final one. And it looks like they will be aiming for the goal line here.
So what's the best case scenario coming out from here?
best case scenario for the Mustangs is the Wildcats throw the ball, and it's either an interception or it's incompletion. Stopping the Wildcats is just 3 points. And assuming that, even the worst case scenario happens in the second half, the Mustangs are only down by 11, which is two possession game.
Right.
Offense has looked electric enough to deliver. I just don't know if the defense has looked quite up to par as they were in their first drive.
Yeah.
I think another optimal position is that the Wildcats actually elect to run the football, and with no timeouts left, they just bleed the clock. I don't think Coach McNaney would do that. He's too smart for that. I do believe it's going to be a pass. Their slant play has worked really well this game. I would watch out for that. I would place my bets on the Wildcats doing some kind of motion at the line and going for their slant play. For those of you who play Madden, this is actually a really common Madden play called double slants, 2 receivers on each side, intercrossing routes, and it's one of the best concepts in the game of football, actually. If the receivers are manned up, it completely confuses the DBs. They're not able to get around their own team, keeping at least one receiver open. And the Wildcats actually go with an empty backfield. 4 receivers. And again, I set a motion. Oh, and they do elect to run the ball. And Mustangs may have milked the clock completely out. Because it's 4th and 1. The Wildcats have no timeouts, and they cannot spike the ball. The Wildcats will just have to hurry up with the last 10 seconds to see if they're able to get anything off. And did the Mustangs call a timeout? There's been a stoppage of the clock and play. I'm confused what has happened. The Mustangs have called a timeout with 10 seconds left when they could have just allowed the clock to bleed out, guaranteeing the Wildcats a guaranteed 3 points if they choose to take it. Interesting decision by Burrell there.
I'm not sure why they would have done that.
I'm not either. 11 seconds left. The Wildcats had to call a quick play. Probably was called in their last huddle. I don't think they would have delivered on it, honestly. I know they're only 5 yards away, but having a play in your mind, doing another play, and then having to come back to the same play often causes issue under time constraints.
Right.
I'm not sure why the Mustangs called a timeout there. Wildcats do not elect to go for the free 3 points. And they will run their last play of the half, potentially. Oh, I'm sorry. They are going for the 3 points. I don't know why I thought they weren't. The Mustangs just seemed like they handed the Wildcats 3 points straight down the middle. It's a 10-6 game. 5 seconds left for the Mustangs. Interesting decision there by Coach Burrell. Seems like Coach Burrell was a little bit more concerned about allowing a potential touchdown and chose to cut his losses.
I mean, it's just 4 points down. That's easy to come back from.
True. But it does just give them a free 3 points.
Yeah.
Interesting decision, but again, there's a reason he's the coach and we're sitting up here.
Right.
If he chose to go for that, we'll decide to trust him. Wildcats will get their ball back, and this is going exactly as I said, their ideal situation for the Mustangs. Although looking back, it might have just been that the clock milked out. Wildcats not looking too bad themselves. They have the opportunity to go up 17-6 in the second half as they will get the first kickoff. Hopefully the Mustangs can recreate some of that kickoff magic. The kick is away. 2 receivers go for it again. And they will rule him down at the 1 yard line. This is the second time that this has happened.
Yeah. This just looks like a lot of confusion out there. I don't know what.
Looks like a lack of communication, some rust. I'm not sure exactly why, but the Mustangs have ran into their own teammate. And I feel like the Mustangs are feeling the loss of Coach McNaney, special teams coach,
right,
getting the Mustangs down at the 1 yard line while the other team converted a special teams touchdown.
Yeah.
Mustangs now will have no opportunity to even try a big play in the risk of a safety. They will just have to hand the ball off up the middle and hope to milk this clock out. Shotgun formation. They're dropping back. He's in trouble under extreme pressure. Somehow finds a way out of it and makes a positive play. An extremely risky decision there. 23 yards gained. I can't complain,
yeah, I mean,
but
it paid off.
did it? I mean, they didn't get a touchdown. That was an extremely high risk, high reward play. I guess a 98-yard touchdown is a massive thing to hope for.
Definitely.
With a potential safety, but Coach Burrell has that instinct in him. He has that dog in him. 23 yards gained on the play, and that will be the end of the first half. Wildcats will come out leading 10-6 with the ball in the second half. Mustangs hoping to come back to their initial form of the game and hopefully recover their lead. We'll be right back in the second half. Pav, you got anything else?
It's been an interesting game. A couple mistakes, a lot of flashes. I'm excited for the second half.
Me too. Welcome back, everybody. Second half of this electric game. 10-6 on the scoreboard, but the ones watching know it has been absolutely full of banger plays. Second half is going to be more of the same, hopefully, with banger plays, but one thing is for sure different. We no longer have Pavin with us. He's still alive, don't worry. He's just not broadcasting. We have introduced Tyler, which I kind of had a cameo with him earlier, mentioning him. He's actually here for the second half to broadcast with me. How are you, Tyler? How do you like the game?
Good. A couple miscues by the Mustangs early, and Millard West really capitalized on that with their 10-6 lead now. And a lot of that, it has been special teams, which almost a big run there by Millard West. And the story of the game, like we talked about earlier, or you and Pavin, sorry. Coach McEnany went to Millard West, our special teams coach, and that has been a lot of the problems we've seen here tonight. The missed extra point, the weird kickoff, which Millard West returned for the touchdown, and just overall the catches on the kickoffs by our team, a lot of confusion and a lot of early miscues here. And if they can clean that up in the second half, only being down 4 right now isn't the worst thing.
Yeah, true, but I think special teams have been a huge factor, don't get me wrong. I mean, that play, we can see from here, a huge hole that opened up. A great tackle by the Mustangs, obviously, to corral him, but more than our special teams, I feel like our defense after that first drive has just, they've been good on some plays for sure, don't get me wrong, but they've allowed the Wildcats to just drive down the field. Wildcats come out back up in shotgun formation. I don't think he's been under center. I've said this before. He still hasn't been under center the entire game.
He's not, even though they've had a lot of read options, quarterback runs, and keepers, but still no under center. A lot of shotgun formation.
Yeah, a lot of shotgun. Seems like there was a flag immediately off for false start. They will start 5 yards back initially, starting off. Shotgun formation, halfback dive right up the middle. He breaks free from the huge mob in the middle. The entire sea of Mustang defenders cannot bring him down. He gets nearly 14 yards out of the 15 that he needed.
And a lot of confusion there. We've seen that recently with the Mustangs because although Millard West, not many passing yards so far, but they've just run the ball down Millard North's throat. No touchdowns yet, obviously, except for that one weird kickoff play. And the Millard North defense has been playing very well. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd and 2, if they can hold them and push them to 3rd down.
Drops back. Oh, and nearly a pick. One of the biggest mistakes of this entire game, nearly made by Logan Cratch, who hasn't actually made that many mistakes in terms of passing and running. Nearly makes the one that the Mustangs needed there. Fortunately for the Wildcats and unfortunately for the Mustangs, the timing just isn't right on that one. They will not get the interception, but it is definitely a momentum shifter. And like you were saying, Tyler, the Wildcat offense, despite not scoring any offensive touchdown, has really been driving down the Mustang throat. Just like now, where they do a read option and the quarterback is off. Logan Cratch gets nearly 20 yards on a read option off a shotgun.
Yeah, and they're just running the ball down the Mustangs' throat. The one pass play here, blown up completely, a lot of pressure, almost picked off, but now that quarterback keeper that just kept running that in the first half, and it's really working for these Wildcats.
I think the biggest thing that Coach McEnany has done with the Wildcats is he's made them really balanced. Like, they've had an amazing amount of runs, but their passes have also been at such optimal timings for the Wildcats, and the Mustangs aren't prepared for them, and they usually end up getting a good gain out of them. Again, just halfback dive up the middle, and this time the Mustangs do manage to corral him to significantly less yardage, but I mean, we're barely 2 minutes into this, not even 2 minutes into this half, and they're already at the Mustangs 40-yard line. The Mustangs have potential to go down by nearly 11 points going into their only third or fourth offensive drive. The defense really has to hold up if the Mustangs want to find a way to come back into this game.
And one key we've seen here on this drive is if the Mustangs can keep Millard West in that tackle box, they've been able to bring him down pretty consistently. That one throw, they kept him in the box. That run, that went for short yardage right there, right here, outside the box. And a huge gain right there. Just blown coverage.
He just kind of disproved you there. He stayed in the pocket and delivered a strike. And honestly, I mean, hats off to him, great pass, but it didn't look like the Mustangs really accounted for that receiver there. I mean, it might have just been a really good play design. but it just looked like the receiver kind of snuck out under them. They just never saw him coming.
And great timing on that play. I think that was the main factor there because for me, at least for me, I was expecting a run because that's all they've been doing. The one pass did not work at all. And just quick route to the outside and brings them down inside the red zone.
Like I said earlier, I mean, that's why I said he's made him a lot more balanced. Like, when you don't expect a pass, and the Mustangs aren't either, they're having some of their biggest pass plays then. And that was another 22-yard catch and run that really the Mustangs just didn't account for. The Wildcats at the 20-yard line in this game might be slipping away from the Mustangs. Another great pass out of the pocket, and honestly, ever since you said that, Tyler, he's delivered 2 great passes out of the pocket.
Yes, he's proved me wrong, and hopefully he doesn't do it again. Now at the 8-yard line.
The past 2 plays have accounted for nearly 34 yards. The Mustang defense cannot hold against this Wildcat offense, who seems to have rejuvenated themselves after nearly not getting any points at the last position of the first half, with the lucky timeout from the Mustangs allowed them to get 3. They run it up the middle, good variation, and that's a touchdown for the Wildcats. What I said earlier, 2 good pass plays back to back. They switch it up, have that variation. Mustangs don't expect it, and right up the gut, the Wildcats get their next 6 points.
Just a huge hole there, and you said it before the half. They had the potential to go up 17-6. Now a 2-score lead for the Wildcats. Mustangs offense, ever since that one huge rush by Isaiah Traylor, a touchdown run, not much has happened on offense.
But honestly, can you even blame them? Because they haven't had the ball enough to do anything with it. They nearly had 3 points, but a 4th and 6, unfortunate, I would say, missed conversion took them away from 3 points, which would have been an 8-point game at this point. But can you really hold it against the Mustang offense? Because they've done everything explosive on their side of the ball. They just haven't had many opportunities. And like I said, in the first half, when the game was still 7-6, or as probably like to say 6-7, the Wildcats have done exactly what I predicted. They got a field goal at the end of the first half. They came out instantly and scored a touchdown. Worst case scenario for the Mustangs.
And do we think on this kick return, someone will catch it and return it?
I think, forget returning, I think maybe one person should try to get for the ball, not for 2. Maybe change up the formation a little bit, have 1 deep. Not sure. Hopefully there's a lot more communication. Obviously, we need to cut them some slack. This is the first game of the year. They have a lot of rust, but still.
They both want the chance to prove themselves here, and we'll see who decides to take this one.
Tyler, are you excited for the NFL season to start?
Oh, I am super excited. My Packers just got Micah Parsons today.
I know, we were talking about that earlier. This time the Mustangs have 0 people returning the kick. It goes out of the back of the end zone. Touchback.
That might just be the best thing that could have happened there in that kickoff for them.
Honestly, it seemed like both receivers were going for that again.
But
sure.
yeah,
Micah Parsons. Are you happy about that?
I am. I'm going to be honest. I think they actually got a pretty good trade package. Most of the other people have said could have gotten him for less, but 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark, not too bad. And I think
it's a lot to give up.
First-round picks for the Packers, I wouldn't say have panned out like amazing over the past couple years. Definitely haven't been bad. Jordan Morgan, Jordan Love, Christian Watson a couple years ago. We'll see what Matthew Golden does this year.
Christian Watson, I believe, was the 2nd rounder, but yeah. Shotgun snap, right up the middle with Isaiah Traylor, and he has just been a beast in this game. Again, consistent 9 yards basically on every play, and that 78-yard touchdown that put the Mustangs on the board at all.
I'm going to be honest, if it was me and I was the coach, I'd give the ball to Traylor every single play, just let him run it up the gut, around the outside. They haven't done much. They've probably stopped him for a loss once. And even though short gains are helpful, especially on first down, we'll see what they do here on 2nd.
I completely agree with you, but at this point, the clock does start to play a little bit of a factor because their defense really hasn't been able to hold the Wildcats. Isaiah Traylor gets the first down there for the Mustangs and keeps going with an amazing spin move out of tackle.
Like I said, this guy is the real deal. Just explosive runs just straight up the gut, broken tackles everywhere. Isaiah Traylor has been spectacular this game, and I think just keep feeding him the ball.
I mean, he has been spectacular. He's been the perfect combination of a 3rd down running back and a power back. He's big and strong. He's breaking through tackles, and once he does, he has the breakaway speed to get touchdowns. But with only 8 minutes left and Mustangs down by 11, I do believe they need to start attempting a lot more passes. to be able to cover this deficit a lot quicker. They hand off the ball as an inside zone. There is a flag thrown on the play. Barring that flag, there's a 5-yard gain by the Mustangs.
Looks to be another holding, I believe, for the Mustangs. And we saw a lot of penalties early at false start. And I think there were a couple holding penalties that first drive for the Mustangs, which kind of set them back there. And they've cleaned it up for sure lately. And that targeting call on the Wildcats earlier, that helped them a lot, even though they could not capitalize on that.
Yeah, I mean, even last year there were certain games where Mustangs just had an Achilles heel for, ill-timed penalties and flags. I do believe the Mustangs should be able to recover from this as the season goes on, but right now, a 5-yard gain is wiped out, and they have to redo the down with 20 yards to go now, not putting them in a good situation considering that they're already down 11 points. Mustangs have on shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the right side. Isaiah Trailer into block. Cam steps up. And he's able to break tackles. Avoid them, break them, and gets 15 yards.
Big collision there at the end. One of the Millard West defenders down. He gets up, though. Good for them. Be a huge loss.
This game we talked a lot about Cam Leggett and his arm. I mean, obviously, that's why he transferred. That's why Mustangs wanted him. He has a cannon arm. He's really good accuracy, really good pocket presence we've seen throughout this game. But something that's not talked about him enough, and we've seen a lot of this game, is that he's an incredible rusher. I mean, that last play at the end of the first half, he turned that play into a potential safety, from a potential safety to a 22-yard run. He's extremely athletic. He's been able to move in the pocket, but he's not, committed to just taking off. He's going through his progressions. He's getting out of the pocket. He's going through them again. And honestly, for Coach Burrell and the rest of the Mustangs, that's what you hope to see out of any quarterback, that he's consistently looking to make the play with his arm, and when he can't, his legs are just as good.
And I think that height really helps him, able to see over his offensive line, that 6'4", 197 frame, which has just helped him explode and get those explosive plays. See a timeout here, an early timeout by the Mustangs. That's really the spot where you want to use one of those 3 timeouts. You saw Millard West at the end of the half, almost train wreck there. Luckily, the Mustangs did call one for them, which led to that field goal. I don't think this is the best time to use a timeout, especially down by 2 scores.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Interesting decision there to call a timeout. Again, down by 2 scores. We'll just have to see what the Mustangs have up their sleeve. And yeah, I mean, back to Cameron Leggett. I mean, going back to his frame, I mentioned this earlier. He has a really power frame. I mean, I told you, it reminds me of Josh Allen's frame a little bit. And he's certainly playing like him too. Not obviously at an NFL MVP level. He's a high schooler, obviously. But he's been able to make the correct reads on offense, throwing the ball. And when he can't, he makes big plays with his legs. Again, as I said, Mustangs have to be really happy about the transfer QB that they've seen. In only his first game, he seems extremely poised. A beautiful juke there in the backfield by Cameron Leggett. It turns a negative play into a solid 3 yards.
And I really wish we could see some more plays downfield, a lot of deeper throws, because I think that's what the Mustangs need. That, like we talked about, one scoring drive. It was that huge 78-yard touchdown run by Trailer. And I really think they just need to send one of these receivers deep and hopefully get a breakout play right there so they can gain some momentum, because they have been stifled ever since Millard West scored that first touchdown.
I totally agree with you, and I just feel like he doesn't have enough time in the pocket. Like, his receivers aren't getting open in time, and his pocket, like, right there just collapses, and he's doing everything in his power to try and get out of it. He gets out of that sack. Ladies and gentlemen, he had nearly 3 Millard West defenders corralling him to the ground, and albeit he did end up in a sack, but for 2 yards loss, not 6. And it does bring a 4th down either way, and the Mustangs will have to punt the ball away. But as I was talking about right before that play happened, his receivers don't have enough time to get open and complete their routes before the pocket just collapses, and he's doing everything in his power to be able to get around it. But like we saw there, if the Millard West just blitzes a little one too many people, one too many persons, he's going down, and Mustangs have just been stagnant, like you said.
And not sure if you talked about it earlier, but a huge transfer from Millard West. Matt Erickson, the 6'9", 300-pound offensive lineman. That's not doing much on that possession. And a great punt there by the freshman, Luke Jacobson. Usually a kicker, but a punter there. And Earlier we had someone else doing the punting and kicking duties. We'll see if that changes out for the rest of the game. But they switched it out right there, and it seemed to definitely work as they pin him inside the 20-yard line in a long field now for the Wildcats.
Yeah, like you were talking about, Millard North had some really good transfers this year. Obviously, we've seen Cameron Leggett, a lot of him. He's looked spectacular for the Mustangs. But like you were talking about, Matthew Erickson has actually been incredible. Not exactly through like the statistical versions we would see, but he is just a specimen. I mean, he is, like you said, 6'9", and as an offensive tackle, that's huge, even for an offensive tackle. The offensive tackle's average height is 6'5" to 6'6". An incomplete pass there by the Wildcats. But yeah, he's an absolute specimen, 6'9", 290. He's going to get recruited by a lot of colleges. He's going to be really good for the Mustangs.
Yeah,
he's able to deliver on his potential.
Millard North right there on that pass actually wanted offensive pass interference, but they will not get it. Would have been a huge play if they could get that interception. The receiver never really knew the ball was in there. We got some immediate pressure by the Mustangs on that play.
Yeah, absolutely. They have pinned the Wildcats back, like you said. That was an amazing punt. Wildcats at their own 18-yard line, looking to make something happen. Wildcats run right up the middle and are stuffed immediately. I actually do believe the scoreboard is wrong. They're not at their own 18. I think that might be their own 13 or 14-yard line. So apologies for that. The Wildcats have just... They've been moving the ball really effectively, but this time it looks like the Mustangs have pinned them back and have been able to keep them where they are. Run off the middle does them no good. And from what we've seen in this game, because that didn't go so well, he's probably going to run it again. He's been unpredictable, and that's what has led to Millard West being where they at on the scoreboard.
And apparently on the scoreboard here we have a 3rd and 19, which I don't think is true. It's a 3rd and 9, which makes a lot more sense. Immediate pressure by the D-line. And
he's able to break the sack, but just throws it right into the ground. He did have a receiver over there. I just don't believe he had the time or just the pressure of having a collapsing pocket got to him.
Yeah, defensive lineman came up right behind him on that play. And this D-line has been exceptional this game. They've almost sacked him numerous times, a lot of pocket pressures, and they've stopped the run when it comes inside. See what Millard West can do here on this punt. We have Deron Vaughn, the junior defensive back, at the 50 awaiting the punt, and a flag on the play now.
Seems to have been a false start as a pre-snap penalty. He's just going to avoid the kick, let it bounce all the way to the 28.
And let's just not talk about that penalty for a second, because that was a booming punt. I mean, that got up here. That got to the press box level, and
he punted from his own goal line and got it to the other team's 30.
Yeah, and if it had bounced forward, that could have gone inside the 20.
That was nearly or more than an 80-yard punt. So certainly an accomplishment.
We'll wait to see what the penalty is here. A false start, that is not good for the Wildcats. That erases that
pre-snap
punt.
Penalty will get the Wildcats. He might have to punt from inside his own end zone. I don't know if you can strike lightning twice. He's going to be hoping to get him in a similar field position. But yeah, back to the Mustangs defense. This is finally the drive that they managed to hold the Wildcats off, and see it pans out because they've pinned him far back. He's punting from inside his own end zone, ladies and gentlemen. He is punting not from a 0, but -5 yards. We'll see where the punt ends up at.
And Fawn now knows where to stand for this. He's standing about 10 yards back from where he was originally, and they moved the ball back 5 yards. So about a 10-15 yard difference from where he's standing, because this punter, I mean, he is moving the ball downfield.
Snap, hold, punt, and in great positioning for that. Gets it at the 50, is able to have room to take off. Breaking a lot of tackles there, and a solid 12-yard return. Mustangs look to have a lot of renewed motivation.
Yeah. Jerron Fun, I mean, we've seen him with a couple of those miscues on the kickoffs, but on these punts, he's been outstanding. A lot of great returns. I don't think he's had any fair catches yet, maybe one. But a lot of moves, juke moves and spin moves there in the arsenal.
He's certainly a shifty person. He showed that on that play. I think the Mustangs have all the makings in this game. They've shown flashes of every bit of good thing. Good quarterback work, good D-line work, good linebacker work. Offense has been electric. They just need to put it all together now, and I believe that they can come back in this game.
Yeah, starting in their own territory here on their second drive.
I think you mean to say Millard West territory, but yes.
Oh, very sorry. Yes, I did.
Ball carried by number 7.
Again,
First down on the play by number 12.
excuse me for the mild lapse. Cameron Leggett is able to take himself out of a collapsing pocket, and despite not getting a positive gain, just ends up with a negative 1 yard loss. Not too shabby for the fact that his pocket has been collapsed nearly every play. I think if the Mustangs want to pass the football, they should start maybe employing trailer to block. Get a chip block on that receiver. They hand it off to him here right up the gut. All reliable gets 4 yards.
That's my favorite play in the playbook, the halfback dive. Just run the ball every play. I know, talking like one of those old Nebraska football fans from the 90s and 80s and 70s and whatnot. But I'm being honest, I would run the ball every single play. Probably not right here on 3rd and long. And I'd go for a pass here, of course. See what Leggett does. Maybe a rollout here. I'd have to escape the pocket again because that pressure. And the trailer, if it is a pass, probably will not block as he's sent the near side.
I mean, it's empty backfield, so he won't be a run for sure, as we see. Dancing around the pocket and just, he has no time.
Like I talked about, kind of a rollout there and just thrown way behind the receiver.
We couldn't even finish the statement that was a pass before he had to roll out. And it wasn't a designed rollout, it was a forced rollout. Either that Mustang line is not completely in sync yet for the first game of the year, or the Millard West D-line just may be too good. They do have the legacy of Harrison Phillips.
And actually a flag there on the play, which is just lovely to see.
Absolutely. A collapsing pocket and a false start. What else could you hope for?
And now the punting unit comes back on. We'll see what they can do here after that last punt. That was a very good punt.
How did I say? I think the Mustangs should go for it. I mean, I know they haven't seen a lot of offensive success, but 4 minutes left, 16 minutes total in the game, down by 11, and that Millard West offense is shown to be electric. In their territory, I think it would be a wise decision to go for it, but obviously Coach Burrow likes to punt it.
Yeah, I would just take a page out of a well-known foe of Nebraska is Iowa. I'd punt it here and play the field position game. And you got to get down there for that punt. What are they doing? Instead of being at the 3-yard line, they're now at the 15.
Yeah, I don't know why no Millard North kickoff specialist was near the ball at all. They could have pinned him at the 5 and instead allowed him to get to the 15.
The official places the ball marker at the 3-yard line, and there's not much to do out of there. If they can force him to 3 and out, they'd probably get the ball back in their own territory there and have an easier drive. And I think the field position game, especially at this level, is just the best way to go. And kind of worked there, almost not. And will actually bring him out all the way to the 20-yard line.
I would agree with you. It's just field position, other than that last drive, has really not hurt the Wildcats at all. They go empty backfield here. And they go for a QB draw and an empty backfield. Certainly an interesting formation to go for a QB draw, I will say that. But they get 0 yards.
And that defensive line still strong up there in the front. Not allowing much through the middle. Maybe Millard West will attack the outside again. Maybe a pass outside or a run outside. 4 minutes left and ticking here in the third quarter, 2nd and 8. Mustangs down by 11, have not scored since the first quarter. Just, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what they can do at this point. His trailer has been stifled in the second half. Not much has really worked for him.
I think the Mustangs have to put their 2 best receivers on the field and just go with blocking with 2 tight ends, honestly. I think the Mustangs just need to go with a heavy O-line, put 2 tight ends, 2 receivers in the back, have the back do a chip block and run for a route, and have the tight ends just simply block. And, you know, Cam Leggett has shown that he can get yards with his legs or his arms, but he just doesn't have the amount of time to be able to do it.
And we have an injury timeout here, an injured player for the Mustangs. I can't quite make out who that is, but we'll give you a report when we know. Just, we hope he's okay. We don't really know what happened. We don't have any replay right now. Stretching out his legs, maybe some cramps over there.
I was just about to say, it looks like a cramp or maybe a pulled muscle. Do think he'll be okay, but obviously unfortunate for any Mustang to be able to go down.
It doesn't look like a game-ending injury for him, although, I mean, cramps are bad. See what the defense does here on this play. Bring in a heavy package and stifle the run, but I think they might go for the pass on 3rd and 10. Got to get a lot of yards in one play. Or do you run the ball and just drain the clock? And Millard North hasn't done much, and the last time you give them, the better for you.
I think if I was a coach, I would pass the ball actually, and I think Coach McNaney will also pass the ball. I think what he's shown us in this game is that he's aggressive. He managed the clock so that there would only be 10 seconds left for a do-or-die situation in the end of the first half. He's shown aggression. I think he will show it again. Mustang's morale seems to be low, so his aggression could pay off.
And while we have this break, we want to thank our sponsors, Union Pizza, 156th and Maple One, of course. The always lovely Chick-fil-A in Legacy Village. Go check them both out. And another quick side note, here at the game, he was behind one of the goalposts earlier. We had old Millard North coach Fred Petito, who won numerous championships with the Mustangs football team and actually was inducted into the Millard North Hall of Fame last night, and it was a very lovely ceremony. Also inducted was Millard North alum Eric Crouch. You might know him.
Heisman winner.
I think he might have won a Heisman. He was pretty good back in his day. But also a lovely ceremony for him too, and hopefully the Mustangs can, use.
Not only did he get into the Hall of Fame, Eric Crouch Street, now by Millard North.
Very sorry, yes. Eric Crouch Street, I have to drive on it every single day now for good luck.
We get to drive on it every single day.
No, I have to for good luck.
Oh.
No, I get to drive on it, but I have to so I can have good luck for the entire day.
It's just an incomplete pass, as I stated. I do think the West Wildcats were going to go for a pass there. They did. It's an incomplete pass. And honestly, the Mustangs have held up pretty well. These past 2 drives, they've really been able to hold the Millard West Wildcats, causing 2 punts in a row. But honestly, now their offense just has to convert. High snap, already a flag. Really high punt. That again came up to our eye level up here in the box. That deflects pretty good view. That's about a 30-40 yard punt, but again a flag. And it was pretty early, so it seems like it's either a false start or maybe an offsides on the Mustangs. If it's an offsides, that would hurt the Mustangs a lot.
Would not surprise me. Almost Nebraska-esque, if that makes any sense. But like I said, we play the field position game. I think you just automatically have to know that you guys have not moved the ball well this second half. You got to get the best position you can. Your defense has been pretty solid so far, except for there's been one drive, I really think, the entire game that's been bad for them. And
I think the defense started off really, really hot. I think they slowed down a little bit towards the end of the half. They picked it up in these past 2 drives, but the Mustang offense has now let them down. They haven't been able to give Cam Leggett enough time in the pocket to be able to do anything at all. He's consistently having to roll out of the pocket. He's having to make plays with his legs, having to break sacks, having to break out of tackles, juke in the backfield even. I think if the Mustangs want any success on offense, they need to be able to give Cam Leggett some more time.
Yeah, and a lot of confusion down on the field. That flag, don't really know what's happening. Was it on the Mustangs? Nope. Well, actually, don't really know what happened with the flag, but from the spot of the punt, they'll get it at the 37-yard line of Millard West. It'll be Millard North ball as we send back our offense, or
I do
our
believe,
offense back on the field.
I think it might have been a false start on the Millard West team, and Millard North just declined it in order to get good field, because the punt was incredibly favorable to Millard North compared to the other leg that we sent on the punter. A good pass off to the sideline, a really good move by number 0, Akili Heath Moody, a freshman, 6 foot, 172-pound freshman wide receiver, makes a really good play there. And a really good pass, I would say, also from Cam Leggett. Again, extremely poised in the pocket, showing a lot of really good flashes. And as I was mentioning before, if you just give him some time in the pocket, he's been able to show out.
And a big arm there. I mean, he rocketed that pass, and the speed option on the side. Trailer does nothing, loses yardage on that play. And from 2nd and 3 now to like 3rd and 6. Not a good look for the Mustangs.
Honestly, should have just thrown the ball out. Should have just thrown the ball away instead of give it to Trailer. Or Trailer should have batted it down, honestly.
Would have been a fumble.
If he batted it past him.
Oh, a pass. Sorry, it was an option pass. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. 3rd and 4 here on the 3rd down play. What do you do here?
3rd and 1 before. Or 2nd and 1. Excuse me. 3-yard loss.
Millard West student section making a lot of noise here, trying to disrupt.
High formation, fullback movement. They might call that false start, but an incredible corner, an incredible post route ran, an incredible ball thrown on the run. Seems to be called back by a flag, and that was exactly the play the Mustangs needed, and when they get it, they get a flag along with it. Hopefully it's not on the Mustangs, but it seems that it is.
Because it was a great catch by Cameron Nelson there, but it'll definitely be brought back. We'll see what the call is.
It seems to be a legal shift by the fullback. I believe that Cam Leggett did not wait long enough for the fullback to be set before he snapped the ball, qualifying that for an illegal shift. Just, we've seen so many plays this game that could be so good if there was just some more communication. That one there, 2 receivers trying to go for the same kickoff. The Mustangs have really they beat themselves in this game right now. A huge go route pass, an absolute bucket, an absolute dot there by Cam Leggett. Picture perfect pass. Nothing else that the Mustangs could have potentially hoped for. It's an absolute missile, getting them the touchdown they needed.
And Cameron Nelson, he really wanted that play from the last one back. BC was the one that caught that, and it was taken back. But now, a beautiful touchdown grab over the shoulder, right into the basket of Cameron Nelson. And the Mustangs, after this extra point, pending the extra point, will only be trailing by 4 and 1 score.
Seeing the review up on our screens over here, I mean, that was a simply beautiful throw. He stayed in his pocket, stayed composed, and dropped an absolute bucket over the shoulder pass. I mean, complete credit to the receiver as well. He got really open, but just an absolutely perfect pass that the Mustangs really needed.
Yeah,
Cameron Leggett has shown a really good gene to be able to play under pressure, bringing the Mustangs down, pending the extra point, to just be down by 4 points and making this game a lot closer than people expected a few seconds ago.
Like I said earlier, this game, the Mustangs offense has relied on explosive plays. The Isaiah Trailer touchdown run, and now that long pass on 3rd and 9 from Cam Leggett to Cam Nelson. And we'll see who the Mustangs sent out here for this extra point. They've had 2 kickers so far in this game.
Now, I would like to ask you, if you were Coach Burrell, would you go for 2 here? Make it a 3-point game?
I think you have to at this point, because
I do too, because getting an extra point puts them down 4, missing a 2-point puts them down 5. Either way, they need a touchdown. But potentially converting that 2-point, they only need a field goal.
Yeah, but we've seen a lot of kicking miscues so far from the Mustangs. The missed extra point, the weird kickoff. So, I don't know, maybe this shows if they go for 2, not much.
They are going for
They
2.
are, but not much confidence in the kicker. But,
I think rather than the confidence in the kicker, it's just a matter of the numbers. 4 and 5 points are both a touchdown. 3 points is a field goal. Just trying to lower the pressure on the offense and the defense, because holding them to a field goal on the next play would either make it a touchdown either way. So I believe they're just trying to play the numbers.
still a lot of time left in this game. 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Shotgun motion by the receiver. It's a pass play. He has plenty of time in the pocket. He will be taken down from behind. Cam Leggett, who's been so excellent in the pocket all game long, sacked from behind. Did not sense that one coming. I think it had incredible pocket presence throughout the entire game. Just that one, he's not able to convert.
And we saw Drew Nelson cut across the front, and he was kind of wide open in that end zone. And I think Leggett just missed him. One of the few miscues that he's had this game.
I mean, being under constant pressure in the pocket certainly doesn't help. And honestly, this time he just missed it. He got sacked from behind. But it's okay, because if the Mustang defense is able to hold the Wildcats to just a field goal or less, the Mustangs will only need a touchdown and a potential 2-point conversion to tie this game up. And as Pavan was asking earlier, will this game get as high scoring as the last one? I do see a chance that it does.
I strongly disagree. So far, we've seen really 2 sustainable drives combined by both teams, and I don't really see much more of that happening tonight. The defenses have been stellar, and although Millard West does have 17, you have to remember one of those was on that weird kickoff play for the touchdown. So both defenses have been amazing this game.
I agree with you. I'm saying there's potential. There's obviously a chance that it could happen, because big plays have been the story of this game, just like we saw.
Yeah, and in Millard North fashion, we have a flag before the play. And the kicker out there right now is Gus Colpin, the senior. I believe that was a sideline warning on Millard West. Colpin back for the kick now.
Millard West hoping to redo their amazing kickoff return. Millard North hoping to have one of their kickoff returns happen to Millard West, where they're down at the 1-yard line. A strong kick. Goes to about the 12-yard line. Return, and a broken tackle by the Millard West returner, and a couple more, bringing him down at the 33-yard line, nearly breaking 33 tackles almost on that play himself.
Yeah, now that this Millard North defense comes back on the field and looking not for revenge, they kind of held them last 2 times inside their own territory, but hoping to give some Millard North offense great field position here.
Millard North offense did really find his legs in that last drive. Obviously, it helps that when you have a quarterback who throws a perfect 30-yard over-the-shoulder pass, but even throughout the drive, they were pretty consistent in moving the ball down. I think another thing that hasn't been talked about enough is Millard North's penalties have really cost them. They've gotten big plays, and the penalties have taken them right back. I believe they really need to shore those up for even the following games. Otherwise, Millard North could be end up being in a lot of trouble. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Millard West leading 17-12 at their own 33-yard line. 1st and 10. Millard North hoping to make a comeback. A jet sweep by Millard West is a fake, and the quarterback takes it for 9 yards.
And another quarterback keeper there. Contrary to what I said earlier, ran straight through the middle of this defense. He got a huge gain, another 1st down. And a flag on the play. Not sure who this one's on. A little confusion down on the field. We've seen this a couple times, but they're moving Millard West back, which is a good sign for the Mustangs, I believe.
On the field today, we've seen equal amounts of white, blue, and yellow from the flags from both teams. There's just been a lot of miscues in this play from both sides. Obviously, Millard North having a couple more showing on the scoreboard, but Millard West has had their fair share of miscues as well. This will put them at 1st and 14 at the 29-yard line. So moving them a little bit farther back seems to have been a holding, which was pretty evident by the massive hold that he had to escape through. The 1st and 14 is certainly not a terrible place for them to be in either. Millard North hoping to keep them at bay again for the third drive in a row. A drop back pass, rolls out to his right, looking for receivers, sees one he likes, and there's a flag for defensive holding.
And Jerron Fawn, punt return fiend, who's done very well in this game so far, called for the DPI. And not a good look for the Mustangs. That'll be 15 yards after what could have been a great start because it's 1st and 14. At least it was.
I don't think he needed to do anything on that because the ball was a little bit ahead of him anyway. He just didn't get his head around, didn't know where the ball was. I respect him for trying to make a play early and, sorry, not early, but trying to make a play for the Mustangs and try to get the football back, but unfortunately that's not the way to go about it. As DB, you have to turn your head around. You have to make sure that you're seeing where the ball is in relation to your man.
Yeah.
An unfortunate DPI, but...
And we've seen Logan Crack, the Millard West quarterback. Whenever he rolls out to his left, it's usually a rush because it's hard to throw across the body. Whenever he rolls out to the right, we've seen a lot of downfield throws on the run. And most of them have not been too accurate today. And we just hope that we can kind of contain him and bring him to their right side because he hasn't had much room to run over there.
Millard West in the interesting formation. Another fake handoff, trying to run up the middle, gets stuffed immediately.
And a lot of misdirection for the Wildcats, hoping to confuse this Millard North defense. But so far, Millard North has done a pretty good job this entire game and this drive of stopping that.
Absolutely.
Just over a minute left here in this third quarter. This has felt like the longest quarter of the game so far.
Has been certainly a fun one to see the Millard North Mustang get back on the scoreboard. Rolls out to his right, is nearly corralled, somehow able to shake that off, and a drop pass wouldn't have mattered much anyway. He was just at the line of scrimmage. But nearly a huge sack for the Mustangs. They're just going to be able to finish that play next time, and that might be the momentum shift that they need. He was nearly back at the 30-yard line getting corralled. Bobbled pass keeps the Millard West Wildcats exactly where they are.
And one of the weirder plays of the game, which is saying a lot, it was almost a sack with maybe a horse collar in there somewhere, and then he just kind of stopped and threw it in a weird bobble by the receiver.
This game has been full of interesting plays. A play-action pass, the ball tipped up, and it's an interception by the Millard North Mustangs. That is exactly what they needed at this point in the game. Down by 5, barely over a quarter left, and a tip pass interception is what they needed.
But there is a flag on the play. Not sure who this is on, but Millard North telling their players to stay on the field, really hoping this penalty is on Millard West, because that was a huge play that they needed. One of those explosive, momentum-changing plays.
I think Millard, barring any penalty, Millard North's defense has really caught on to this Millard West offensive scheme. It's a bunch of misdirection. And Millard North is going to be able to get the ball back. The flag was on the Wildcats. They nearly obviously declined the penalty. And the Millard North offense and the Millard North team as a whole has some rejuvenation being seen. But yeah, the Millard North West offense has just been a bunch of misdirection, play action, trying to confuse the defense long enough that they can break out. And Millard North finally recognizes the play action, tipped pass, and is able to be corralled beautifully. First interception of the game by either side, and Millard North is the one who reaps the benefits. Starting at their own 46-yard line, Millard North down by 5, just over a quarter left, hoping to cut this deficit.
Millard North in the I form, which we have not seen too much today.
They started off early with a lot of I formation, and then as the game started to slip away from them, they transitioned to a lot of shotgun. But just power running down the center, get some 3 yards. Obviously not what they were hoping for. They were hoping for something closer to 5 to 6, but they'll take every yard they can get that's safe and keeps moving the chains.
And time for one more play here in this third quarter. We'll see if they have time for 2, maybe a pass out of bounds or a bit of drop pass.
I believe that Mustangs will just run the ball here. They're going to run out the quarter and try to never mind, they do drop back. He has plenty of time in the pocket, doesn't see anything. He's able to move away, and that lightning fast speed is able to take him out of bounds. Gets a solid 15, 16 yards on that, and stops the clock for another play.
I believe, does it? The Clock did not stop on the field. Not sure if it stops in high school football.
Maybe it does
not.
But it is a really good play by Cam Leggett there. Fourth quarter is just about to be underway. Millard North down by 5, but does have the football, and it seems like also has the momentum. A huge touchdown in the last quarter, and an interception taken by Millard North. Seems to be going well for them. We'll be right back at the beginning of the fourth.
First down and 10 Mustangs. Ball on the Wildcat. 39-yard line. That's come by number 1, Isaiah Twirler. Brought down the play by number 12, Blake Tuesday. Gain of 1 on play, brings up second down and 9. Ball on the Millard West, 38-yard line. Carried by quarterback Kevin Leggett, taken out on the play. Pushed out by number 12, Blake Tuesday. Third down, 4 yards to go. Ball on the Millard West, 33-yard line.
And so far his decision making has been great, like you said, and we'll see if that decision making helps here on 3rd and 4. One of the biggest third downs we've seen is, I don't think, a 47-yard field goal or 50, whatever it is at this point. Yeah.
Ball carried by number 1, Isaiah Twirler. Down by number 4, John Stanton.
And the easy decision here is go for this. If it's, it is 4th and 4, no yard, no gain on that play.
Short gain on the play, brings up 4th down.
And I still think you go for this on 4th and 4, your kicking game. Coach Burrell did not like something on that play. Fired up, yelling at the sideline. He was upset. And probably a good thing that we called a timeout there. Probably not the best use of a timeout, as that is our 3rd timeout of the game. And we might need that later on if we don't go up here. But definitely something wrong, and good thing we stopped the play, because this is one of the biggest plays of the game so far. And we're just like give some quick props to this water team, you know, handing out water, all the players and the refs. Very important and crucial for this game.
To go. Ball on the road west. 33-yard line.
Like we talked. Wait, it appears something has gone wrong. Maybe a penalty or something, or maybe he did not catch it apparently. Sorry, a lot of confusion on that play, but Millard North bringing the punt team out. 5-yard loss on that play must have been that's terrible for them. Oh, baby.
Picked up by Gage. Brought down the play by number 14. Xavier Lopez.
And that's a great catch by the official because I did not see that in real time and definitely was the right call. Makes sense. He was way up there. And just a yard back would have been an amazing play and big momentum swing for the Mustangs. But now Millard West really backed up in their territory at the 15-yard line, and Millard North and we've seen him, so he was actually limited this week at linebacker, but they saw a lot of need there, and they put him in, and he's done a great job on defense with the interception. Now that huge play on that swing pass there to stop it for minimal gain. Wide receiver for Millard West was holding their block pretty well. He was able to fight around that, make the stop. Around the outside, and I think he may have gotten to the first, maybe stepped out of bounds right before it. And they'll say he's got the first by a couple yards, I believe. And that will move the chains. 1st and 10 now for the Wildcats at the Millard West 27.
Apologies there if I had cut out temporarily. A huge hole right in the middle of the defense. A massive gaping hole in the center of that zone. And it leads to a massive play from Millard West Wildcats.
Riley Swim there with a great catch and run, putting them into Millard North territory. The 6'2" sophomore tight end making a great play there. And one of the few long passing plays we've seen for Millard West.
Again, apologies if I had cut out there earlier. It seems my mic may not have been on. If it has, then disregard the statement completely, but I apologize if it hasn't. There were some issues with our mics. Millard West just above the 50-yard line now. Hand the ball off right up the middle. It's a read option. The quarterback keeps it, and they're just milking this clock away now. They won't be able to do it completely, but with 50 yards left to go, they will cut a solid 4 to 5 minutes, I believe, off the clock if they work it correctly.
And I think that Millard West, the play, like the timing that they've called their plays on, those 2 pass plays they've had recently have been just great timing. And right when Millard North wasn't expecting it, I was not expecting it. I was, of course, expecting that. Millard West now signature quarterback keeper or read option.
As I stated earlier, that's been their biggest strength. Coach McClellan has really done well in keeping the Millard North defense on its toes. Again, no one expected them to be able to throw there. We're just expecting him milking the clock, but he throws right down the center of the defense, continues to milk the clock, and also gets a first down. He's just kept the defense on his toes. He's had some unpredictable plays, and that's what has really set Millard West apart.
And that's right back to that big tight end, Riley Swim, who 2 catches in a row, or not in a row, sorry. And the 2 out of the last 3 plays.
2 catches in a row, yeah, because that's the only 2 pass plays that happened. Again, shotgun coordination for Millard West. Hands the ball off right up the middle. Simple inside zone, and now they are just trying to bleed this game out as quick as possible.
Washington dragging multiple Millard North defenders there on that run. Looking like our own Isaiah Trailer there. 2nd and 1 now for the Wildcats. Getting into this Millard North territory, past the 30. Do we think this is in their kicker's range right now?
I believe the way he has kicked, he's had some of those extra points with a solid extra 10 yards on them. I do believe they will trot out the kicker. I believe that's their initial planning as of right now, that if they do not, that they're not, I mean, obviously they want the touchdown, but I don't think that's their main focus. I believe their main focus is keeping the ball safe and trying to get a field goal at least.
And they don't even need to think about it, as they'll get the first there easily on 2nd down. Now I definitely think this is within their kicker's range, which would make it an 8-point deficit for the Mustangs. And now you got to think, if they get a field goal on this drive, was going for 2 the right decision? Because now they have to go for 2 again. I still think it was. In the time, they didn't really know what the score would be, obviously. And, I mean, they'll just hope to go for that stop here and either keep them from scoring at all and hopefully blocking that kick, or just maybe another interception. Hint, hint, Drew Nelson.
Hopefully, and honestly, it doesn't look like kick is in the future for the Millard West Wildcats, as the Millard North team knows it's going to be a run. Millard West knows it's going to be a run, but nothing is being stopped right now by this Millard North team. It's like a filter where everything goes through. It's been complete runs up the middle and nothing to do.
One of the main keys on this drive is they've been very unpredictable. Great passes down the middle, which they haven't really done so far this game. A lot of rollouts and passes. And then right back to the center, which Millard North does not expect because it hasn't worked all game in that run. We'll try it again. There, it does not work. Thrown back.
Finally, Millard North is able to stop the run from the Millard West Wildcats, and they really do need to stop now. 6 minutes left in this quarter. They really need to hold them to a field goal to even have a chance at winning this game. And I think it's not just been this half, Tyler. It's been the entire game. It's just been the unpredictable play calling. I discussed this with Avin earlier, too. It's just they're calling pass plays when you wouldn't expect them and run plays after, like, consecutively good passing plays. And Millard North just doesn't know what to expect. They haven't watched enough film on the Millard West news team yet, and it's showing evidently. Again, see, an unexpected pass, and that might be the dagger in this game. As we were just talking about, a pass when you would least expect it, when we thought they were going to milk the clock. Millard West finds a way to get a receiver schemed open so that he goes completely undetected by the Millard North defense. Yeah, he came out of the line of scrimmage, as we see from the replay here. And yeah, he has just not been able, no one was able to corral him, and that's the dagger, I believe, for Millard North.
You never know, there's still 5.5 minutes left. We've seen some crazier stuff, but Millard West looking for revenge for last year after that heartbreaking loss in the final seconds. The fake.
And they're going for 2 points on the fake, hoping to an interception, hoping to make it a 3-possession game.
And a flag thrown there. Don't know what that's about. Nothing on the return. Very confused. And a Millard North defender injured in the back of the end zone. Can't make up the number right now. Looks to be okay. Might walk it off. Yeah, running off the field now.
I believe the flag has been picked up.
Yeah, don't know why they weren't allowed to return that. Not sure if there's some different rules in college football than pro and college, or sorry, in high school
didn't have
football,
anywhere to
than
go.
college and NFL.
Played dead.
Deep return. Over the Mustangs. Number 21.
And anyone who's wondering what the score of the Husker game is, Nebraska is up 6-3. Yeah, not a high-scoring game. Makes a lot of sense. It is the Huskers, and they disappoint every year. But back to Millard North, who, these past couple years has gotten to the state tournament. Ranked number 6 in the preseason this year. Millard West not ranked in that top 10. And I guess looking like an upset of sorts. Don't really know too much about these teams yet. It was only a preseason poll, but an upset nonetheless if Millard West is able to hang on to this 11-point lead with 5.5 minutes left. And also, looking ahead to next week, Millard North travels to Colorado to play Cherry Creek.
And a whiffed pass return. Sorry to interrupt you, Tyler, but somehow he's still able to find a gap, and he took a return despite whiffing that return.
Yeah, and,
Turned something that looked like could have been absolutely dangerous. A flag on the play.
Someone is down injured, really injured. A flag and an injured player on that. We'll see who that is. They look very injured. Not to scare anyone out there. It looks like they'll actually, very sorry to scare anyone. It looks like they'll be okay. Maybe some more leg cramps. But while we have this break, back to what I was saying, traveling to Cherry Creek next week to face off against the nationally ranked Cherry Creek football team. They played them last year, did kind of get blown out. I believe it was 43-10, and they were nationally ranked last year. Powerhouse for football. And to be honest, I believe Millard North could get down there. Maybe after this game, they're looking for like some revenge of sorts. Not against the same team, of course, but they could put up a fight this year. That'll be number 21 for the Mustangs, Christian Bowles, limping off the field here. It looks to be okay. Maybe just some
honestly,
cramps.
the Cherokee game was a blowout, but if you had watched the game, it was a lot closer than one would expect it to be, as Cherry Creek is nationally ranked. And it was actually a lot closer play-wise than one would have expected. Honestly, the scoreboard didn't reflect that. Like this game, there's just been a lot of dumb mistakes made by both, not both teams, honestly, it was just the Mustangs, that resulted in the score being what it was. Mustangs getting the football back, down 12. Apologize, 11 in this game. 5.5 minutes left, just under. They need 2 touchdowns. They need them quick.
And that run not looking like the best play there. Chewing a little bit of clock. They'll hurry to the line, though. Leggett signaling to his teammates to play.
I believe they're calling 2 plays at a time in the huddle. Leggett drops back, has plenty of time, just checks it down to Trailer. Trailer will run out of bounds. I'm not sure if that stops the clock. It does. 4 yards on that play.
It's actually first down there. Scoreboard had not been updated, sorry. Now I think you really do have to start passing here. Millard West will be expecting it. There may be some short routes at first until you gain some momentum.
Some mesh concepts will be really useful here. Trying to draw the defense away from one side of the field and exposing that. I believe that is what they're trying to do here. It's a bunch of slant routes. He just doesn't have enough time in the pocket and stumbles into the ground. Not able to stop the clock, losing yardage.
And we've seen Leggett make some great throws on some quick out routes and in or out. Maybe Mustangs will think of that too here. And the clock is running, 4.5 minutes left, 2nd and 15, backed up in their own territory. And what do you do? I mean, what do you do here?
Here, honestly, based on how this line has been playing, I block the tight end, I block the running back, and I send my 3 receivers as far as they can on different levels. So a 10-yard route, 15-yard route, 20-plus yard route, and just see if I can give him time to make that pass. Because like we see there, he just doesn't have enough time to scan all of his reads before he's immediately taken down. And I don't know how much blame you can put on Leggett for that. He's just not being able to convert because he hasn't been able to have the time. I do think with a 3rd and 15 coming up, I would just block a tight end and running back and have my 3 receivers go at 3 different levels, cross each other, cross across the field, excuse me. Hopefully one of them can draw away from their man and come up. A little bit of time in the pocket, but in trouble as it collapses quickly. A middle linebacker there, blitzed late. Millard North line was not ready for that, and that will be a 4th down, and that might be thing.
Yeah, it kind of just seems like they're giving up in a sense here. They're sitting on the punting unit, and
I mean,
I don't know what else you do. It's 4th and 21 in your own territory.
You could try for it, but I mean, this game is kind of over. They have no timeouts left. 3 minutes left. Millard West can easily run this clock out. It's not a repeat of last year by any means. Millard North was ranked pretty high coming into the year. They lived up to expectations in the first half. They fell sort of short. And the Millard North fans, this is not what they wanted to see. That's not what they came to see. But I think they should be happy with some of the bright spots that Millard North has shown. A good return there by Millard West. But some of the bright spots on this Millard North team going into the future. Isaiah Trailer looks like the truth. He has been incredible this entire game. He's been extremely efficient with his touches. He's been the perfect combination of a power and a 3rd down back. I think they've seen a lot of good things out of Cam Leggett, their transfer. He's an extremely well-poised passer. He has made some miscues throughout this game, but only being his first game in a new system, that's bound to happen. He's played incredibly well with his arm. He's been able to escape with his legs. Perfect dual quarterback. And their defense with Drew Nelson getting that interception and some key tackles has also been an extremely good sight to see. So while this entire game did not turn out how Millard North fans and the team wanted, they should be happy going in that they have a lot of bright spots on this team. And honestly, some of those flags, some miscommunication, and honestly just a couple of missed tackles away from this game being tied up or Millard North even winning. But if some of these issues get shored up in the next couple weeks, I do believe Millard North will be on a good run after Cherry Creek.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. Great points there. And also looking ahead to next week, Millard West plays Millard South. The battle on Q Street at Buell Stadium next week if you're interested in that. And if you didn't notice at the end of that play, I guess at the start, Millard North had to rush a defender on that field, so still a lot of miscues and miscommunication that they'll look forward in the next weeks to fixing for sure.
Yeah, honestly, it's just been like a bunch of miscues and a bunch of unforced errors by the Millard North Mustangs that have compiled into this loss that essentially that they're facing. And a lot of these are fixable mistakes because they're unforced. And if those are fixed up, this game would be a lot closer. And the scoreboard doesn't reflect how close this game was until the very end. Until that last dagger touchdown, this game was very well within reach. A massive hit there. Seems to be on flag thrown as well. Another story of this game, flags on both sides of the ball. We've seen, again, as I stated before, equal amounts of blue, white, and yellow in the flags.
And both teams here having a lot of miscues. That targeting call on Millard West ended up not being very impactful for them on that missed throw by Leggett to Trailer, which might have resulted in a touchdown. But just both these teams need to fix that up, and in the future weeks, figure out the special teams. A lot of special teams needs to be discussed here. And it is a bad thing we lost Coach McEnany to Wildcats, who has done a great job in defeating his former school.
Incredible job coaching, I must say.
Not yet, sorry. The game's not over yet. Actually,
the game's not over yet, but he's done a good job in putting them in position to win. Only a minute 45 left, no timeouts for Millard North. Seems to be close to over, but anything can happen, of course. But yeah, he's been really unpredictable in his play calling in the best way possible. Nothing to take away from him. He's called incredible plays. He's called them at well times, and that dagger touchdown is an example of that. He's schemed players open. He's drawn up plays specifically for players to sneak under a defense. And honestly, this Millard West team, as you said, was not ranked in the top 10. I believe That's kind of a snub, honestly. I mean, I understand Nebraska has some very good schools, but Millard West, to their new play calling, seems to be under good hands and seems to be a pretty powerhouse team in Nebraska, if I do say so.
Yeah, a lot of unpredictability, and I guess didn't know where to place them. We'll see next week when they release that coaches poll if they're on that top 10 list, and seems like they could be for sure.
I think they'll be around the 8th or 7th through 9th spots, if I were to guess. Timeout on the field by the Millard West Wildcats. Probably just trying to keep their team one last statement of don't lose the ball, go down instead. The typical things that you say to any team with a lead of 2 possessions with less than a minute left in the game. And I know you said no game's over till it's over, but I believe we can tell this one as close as it can be to over.
Yeah, and the Millard West student section is saying the same thing, ready to rush the field, plant that flag at center field, or midfield. And
not just Millard West, honestly. Millard North has had a lot of their student section starting to leave or has already left the game.
Yeah, not the best showing from the Millard North student section, but you also have to remember it is a Thursday night and the Husker game is on tonight. But of course, this game is more important, our beloved Millard North Mustangs. And a weird play there is the quarterback runs into his running back. And time for one more play on 4th and 15. Probably have to punt it. It's kind of a weird ending to the game. Millard North will get it back. Can't stop the clock. 13-second difference between the play clock and the game clock.
Honestly, I think they'll just take the delay of game to give themselves some more space to be able to punt.
Yeah, 5 seconds left. 4-3 on the play clock. And they'll let that play out. Timeout on the field for the Wildcats.
13 seconds, 11 points needed. Seems highly unlikely.
It's never good when you have the same amount of time as points needed or about. Not looking good for the Mustangs. What play call do you call here?
I call a run up the middle.
I'm really thinking a punt return here could be the move.
Punt return, onside kick, Hail Mary, all have to happen in quick succession.
Yeah, definitely just a punt return to the house. You think, how much time would that leave us with?
About 5 seconds.
About 5 seconds. About
onside kick would leave us with 1 second.
With 1 second, yeah. And then that one last Hail Mary play for the win as time expires. So definitely a way for the Mustangs to come out victorious. We'll see if they can do it.
Honestly, I don't think anyone envisioned this game playing out as it did coming into it. I mean, me and Pavin were expecting a blowout last year where fences were torn down. I believe the only fences torn down here were the defenses in the North Mustangs.
And another flag on this play, and they'll stop play here.
Looks like encroachment from the Millard North Mustangs as the Millard West team is moving up 5 yards.
And I think this honestly was strategic, really messed with them. Still 13 seconds left, did not drain any time. Now I think they have an even better chance of winning this game.
Absolutely, being pinned back even farther. A whiffed kick return, and he's going to be tackled at the 5-yard line.
2 seconds left, and I think this might be the end, but you never know. Wildcats still have 1 timeout. Maybe they'll help Millard North out and use that for them. How many plays do you think we can get in these 2 seconds?
About a play?
About a play. I don't know. I think if we get about 30 encroachment penalties or unnecessary roughness or something on Millard West, we could really get down there, do some damage.
As of right now, being at the 5-yard line, the Millard North Mustangs would need a solid 19 encroachments.
And you never know. I mean, we just saw one there at the very end of the game. Maybe.
And a kickoff return.
That doesn't matter. You can do that. I'm sure it's been done before. Look at now in shotgun. We'll see what he does here on the final play of the game. Trailer on the wrong side of him.
Miscommunication even on that play. Trailer with a nice last run to end this game off. Nothing to take away from this loss from him. He's been absolutely spectacular. But that is that. Millard West Wildcats will take their revenge from last year, beating Millard North by exactly 2 more points than they lost by last year. Excuse me, 3 more points. The players line up to shake hands and say good game, and that'll be all. I'm sure.
And thank you for joining us on this game of Millard North football. Thank you for listening and hearing us talk about football.
Once again, please check out our sponsors at Chick-fil-A at Legacy Village and Union Pizzeria at 156th and Maple. Both have incredible food and even better environments. Thank you.
The final here tonight, Millard West 23 and your Millard North High Mustangs 12. We will see you next time. Have a wonderful night.